Need a reminder of the good in the world? How about ways that you can make a difference, all while following your passions? Then you've come to the right place. Here on Be the Good with Kate, I have the honor of speaking with people from across the globe and such a wide array of backgrounds, all with the common bond of following what lights them up while making the world a better place along the way. My name is Kate Chericello Tente, and I am so grateful you are here. If something in this episode resonates with you, please reach out. I absolutely love hearing from you. And if you're willing to spread the word, sharing these good news moments with others, a share on social, comment, review, or a text to a friend about Be the Good with Kate, all goes such a long way. Thank you. I've learned so much from all the guests on Be the Good with Kate over the years, and I hope you leave here with some nuggets that stay with you too. Here's to making the world a better place in any way, shape, or form. Welcome back to Be the Good with Kate. Today I'm introducing you to Tanya Lashley. She is the creator and executive producer of Meet Me in New Jersey. Now, this is a really neat thing. It's a groundbreaking series that blends storytelling and advertising to uplift real communities through film. Tanya's mission is to bring joy, connection, and visibility to local businesses and everyday people, turning them into the stars of their own stories while redefining what it means to advertise with heart. Such a unique combo that Tanya has created. Thanks so much for being here, Tanya.
Yeah, thank you for having me, Kate.
Well, thank you so much for being here. Excited to dive in and hear more about what does it mean to combine film and advertising. Kind of give us the 101 if someone doesn't know what you're doing yet.
Sure. Sure. No, and thank you. That's a great question, and I get asked all the time. So what I wanted to do was change the way people viewed advertising, right? So when, like traditionally, you just have like a regular commercial, or you have someone that is advertising a product or service that you're not necessarily connecting with. Uh, and it's there to entice you to purchase something. But I said, well, if we could have a business advertise their product and service through their community, through people that they know, through people that their customers know, then we will have ourselves an advertising and film fusion. Now, the film comes in because even though it's real neighborhoods, real stories, real people, it's still scripted, right? So we'll take like something like, take for instance my town, Short Hills. We'll take the four-way stop sign and we made fun of it, but it's real. But was it real in that moment? No. But it's kind of like a Seinfeld, like a Will and Grace, a scripted, we call it a dramedy. So everybody gets a script, but it's based off of the advertiser's highlights, what they're looking to showcase. And we only get real residents. We don't hire actors. We have real residents. And then the businesses get to highlight their brands or service, but then we also highlight the community, the landmarks in the community, the beauty of the community. So now that's what entices the people to that's what entices the community to watch. We turn neighborhoods into movie sets, residents into A-listers, and businesses into blockbuster brands.
And how fun for the community members, I'm sure most of whom have never been on screen before. And it's a chance for them to do something, not just for themselves, where they get to branch out and do something different, but they're meeting members of the community that they might not have otherwise interacted with.
Exactly, Kate. Exactly. Like that was the piece that I didn't even anticipate, right? The hardest part of my job is keeping everybody quiet on set and managing schedules, but definitely keeping everybody quiet on set because it's so much fun. Again, it's a dramedy. So then they're interacting with people from there. Oh, you go to that soccer field? Really? You go to that farmer's market? My kid was in Mr. Brazen's class, and you hear that constantly. And now they are connected, and now they form beautiful friendships through the show. But then they both get to see themselves on screen. And then when it comes to the kids, oh my God, there's so many kids involved in Meet Me in New Jersey. The joy that it brings to them, the hype, the energy, it is just extreme. We filmed with Rockstar Studios the other day, and it brought tears to my eyes. Those kids, they were so passionate. They had such a good time filming and they felt good about themselves, knowing that they were being recorded and they felt important and seen and beautiful. So that community element, like uplifting the community, is just one piece. I knew it would happen, but not to this magnitude. It's been amazing.
You know what? If people are listening, you can hear the joy in your voice. But if you're watching this on
Yeah.
YouTube, you can see her like full body reaction to this. Tanya, it is so clear that you love what you are doing. And I love that so much. And we're coming back to the community aspect. But first of all, can we take it way back? Like, who was Tanya the child and how did you get from there to
Oh
here?
man. Sure, sure. Do you remember? All right. So when I don't know how old you are, but I am 44 years old. When I was younger, there was a show called Lifestyles of the It was called Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous. And it was hosted by Robin Leach. And he had a very strong British accent. And this is how he spoke. But when I would watch Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous, I knew that I wasn't rich and I knew I wasn't famous, but I wanted to be. And I would just watch the yachts and the boats and everything. And then I would watch like the sitcoms, like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and The Cosby Show. And I'm like, I want to do that. I want to act. And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go after it. I left corporate America, jump into 2020. I left corporate America. I was an advertising executive. I got into advertising in my 20s. And that's what sparked this because I developed this concept from my advertising days. I loved it. There was a movie called What Women Want, jumping to 2000, the year 2000. What Women Want with Helen Hunt and Mel Gibson, and they were advertising executives and they just looked so cool and powerful and they got to like create these boards and these graphics and make businesses look important and amazing and get eyeballs on them. And then they had Nike, they had all of these amazing brands and I'm like, oh my God, I want to do this. And I did that. I did the advertising part.
So you didn't go,
But
you
through my
didn't end up
advertising,
pursuing acting, you went advertising from school.
I went the advertising route, yeah. So then and then that was my job. I worked for the largest radio cluster in the country. And then I also worked for IDR Media. It was a spinoff of the Verizon Yellow Pages. But something was missing, right? And then I'm like, I'm getting older. I'm getting older. I'm getting older. Like, and in your mind, when you want to be an actress, that's terrifying. So then when I left corporate America, I said, you know what? I am doing it. I taught myself video production shortly before COVID hit. And that was grueling. But I'm like, all right, if I want to act and I want to get myself out there, I start off as like comedy because I love to make people feel good. That's why I'm on this podcast because you're all about joy. Kate is all about making people feel so nice and bubbly. So I'm like, all right, I want to combine advertising and my video production, but then acting as well. So I put myself in the first run with Meet Me in New Jersey. I mean, Meet Me in Millburn. I was the first, I was Bree Thomas. That was my character. So that's how, and I called everybody. I called members of our community, prominent members. I'm like, listen, I got this idea. Let's, get some sponsors. Let's write a script. I want this to be magical. We're going to make fun of our town, light fun, because you know. And we did, everybody was like, really? And it was a hit. We were on the news from the second episode. So it was a hit. So that's how I got here.
Amazing. What was
Sorry,
it like
jumping.
to take that first step? Because a lot of our listeners are facing that decision of a job that they've had that just doesn't feel aligned with them. Like, how was it for you taking the step to leave that, maybe stable, should we use that word, sort of career to something that
Sure.
is just completely unknown?
Just do it. Just when I said it is the most terrifying thing, but when you're scared, you're in the right place. When you're uncomfortable, you are in the right place. Because just imagine, you just have to think of it this way. You could either build your dream or help somebody else build theirs. And if you want to do that, that's fine. It's nothing wrong with that. But if you have a dream and this is something you want to do, you have to do it. Just do it. Everything will fall into place. You have to have faith. Like Martin Luther King said, faith is taking the first staircase, the first step. You don't have to see the whole staircase. Just take the first step. The path will light up. I promise you.
Love it. Absolutely love it, Tanya. And what have you personally learned since starting this project and making it all happen?
Okay. I know I said what I just said, but to be an entrepreneur, you got to be a little insane. It is no joke. You have to have like Will Smith said, you have to be part delusional. You just have to know, like it's going to happen. Like you have to see that full vision. I've learned that I attract everything to me, and I've learned to control my thoughts. I've learned to only keep good energy around me. And that's when it comes to people, places, or things. Uh, I've learned that you get in what you put out. And I learned that there's way more good in the world than bad. And I learned that when you make others feel good, you feel good in return.
Excellent. And this idea of community that we were talking about before, you've seen these towns come together. And
Yeah.
remind me, you told me once, I believe, when we had first been in touch, that you have a goal to bring this across the country, right? To other towns and other
Yes.
states. Yes, excellent. So
Yes.
let's say someone's listening from another state in their town. Do you have advice for people what they can do in their own towns to bring this sense of community, to bring these feelings of togetherness? What can they do if they don't have something like Meet Me in New Jersey yet?
Well, reach out to me. You can start there and see if we can cover your state. But if not, just get to know your neighbors. Smile, like let's stop making a big deal about the leaf blowers. Listen, I'm not saying it's not a big deal. I'm just saying let's
You know,
not sweat the small stuff.
you know
That's
what? Pause
all.
for a second. I wonder, is this people listening? Please send us a note and let us know. Is this in every state or is it just a New Jersey thing? I've never seen so many comments about leaf blowers since I have moved until I moved here recently. So it's
Yeah.
it's something.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. It is serious. Yeah. I just
People do
learned
not
that you
like them.
gotta no, no. I mean, and it's like outrage, but we have to love thy neighbor and just spread joy. Like, I noticed another thing, you asked me what I've learned. When someone is maybe grouchy or seem like they're down, maybe they're having a bad down, maybe they're having a bad day. And even if they lash out at me, I still try to make them smile. Sometimes if you just ask someone, "Hey, are you okay? Is everything okay?" You would be blown away by the response of some people and how good that makes people by just them being feeling seen.
Yes.
So when you know what I mean, when you see someone else, but definitely in my neighborhood, and listen, no neighborhood is perfect, but I love my town, my neighborhood, and I like to have fun and just spread that joy. So,
Yes. And it's amazing when you start to think about, like, why did this person approach you this way, or why are they reacting this way? It's rarely
yeah,
ever about you or that moment. There's almost
yeah,
always a story behind that, and there's a reason, and it's
yeah,
something else. So taking that moment and putting our own like selves aside to say, like, what is it? Can I help this person in just a small way, even just like you just said, a smile? How
yeah,
are you? And listening to how they are doing. Absolutely. Thank you for
yeah,
saying that. And, something I love asking, I
yeah.
try to ask everybody this because I just love the responses. What is most, but for you, it's a two-parter. What is most surprising to you about where the show is now? And then part two,
Mhm.
about where your life is now.
Okay. Oh no, that's a good question. What is most surprising to me about where the show is now? How fast.
Mm,
It's like like right now I have so many things going, how fast it's grown and how fast it's caught on and the level of positivity. Like, of course, there's going to be like maybe like 1%, naysayers or whatever, but it's literally just 1%. Everybody is like, whoa, this is amazing. This is exciting. So, the response to where the show is and now and how fast it's grown, because we're like pitching to networks at this point, and it's like it's a lot going on right now. And where my life is now, hmm, I would have thought I would have been an actress by now. From the dreams that I had inside of me, I am very shocked that I've taken the more director, producer, media entrepreneur versus actress. I would have really thought that. That's the most shocking. Yeah, this
Yeah.
route.
This route. Yes. And tell us
Yeah.
then, what is next? You said networks, you said expanding across states. What is the next piece of the puzzle here?
Sure. So we're only our only limits are in the only barriers and limits we have are in our own mind, right? So I don't have any barriers or limits. We're gonna go, we started off town by town. Now we're on a state level. We're gonna go state by state, then we're gonna do country by country. And it's going to be big. This is not just a show, it's a movement, and it's shifting the way people see advertising, and it's advertising and film fusion. It's completely different. It's nothing you've ever seen before. And the big thing that I've never even mentioned, it is extremely powerful. It works. It gets so much business into businesses because the community is like, whoa, I never even knew this business was here. The nature of the beast is just knowing and getting those eyeballs, and the show is working. So just expanding, 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 and shifting everybody's mind to answer your question.
Great. And you know what? I just have to point out, especially for anybody listening who wants to start a project, of any scope, you, Tanya,
Mhm.
are not afraid to talk big, to own it, to take the leap, all of those things that make
Yeah.
the product happen. And I think it's very easy to be small, to say, well,
Mhm.
maybe it'll work, maybe it won't, I'm going to try it. But something that I really love about you is that this is what's happening and this is where we're going, and you're making it happen. And people go towards that vibe. And like you said, you're making the good vibes happen all around you. So that's something to really point out to listeners too, of just don't be afraid to step into that light and go. So thank you, Tanya, for
Mhm.
doing that. Thank you for all that you're bringing to our towns. And please let everybody know where they can find Meet Me in New Jersey online and connect with you.
Sure. So, thank you for that, Kate. I appreciate it. And right back at you. You can find Meet Me in New Jersey. Our handle is Meet Me in New Jersey on Instagram, and we are Meet Me in New Jersey on YouTube.
Great. Tanya, thank you so much for talking with me today. I'm glad we got to share this, and just keep doing the awesome work you're doing.
Thank you so much, Kate. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for tuning in. If you found this helpful, a 5-star review, like, or comment means the world to me. And if you found insight in this episode, chances are someone else will too. Share with a friend to give them a boost today. Until next time, I'm Kate Cherichella-Tente, and this was Be the Good with Kate.